How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. With every passing day, there are new bills being proposed for the next round of stimulus. It's hard to keep track of every bill that's being proposed, so I wanted to put them all in one video. I've done videos on a significant number of these, but there's a little bit more information, and also every day the picture of what's going on in the economy is changing too, so it's just an ever-changing complete picture of likelihood and different possibilities. So the Congressional Budget Office just said that there's kind of a stark picture looking over the next year. So they said that the national budget deficit would go from, normally it would be 1 trillion, it's going to go to 3.7 trillion extra this year. Then there's also going to be a jump from about 3.5% unemployment in February to maybe 16% at the end of September. This is happening at the same time that the WHO says that there's no evidence that people that have gotten the virus are immune to it the second time. And that's at the same time that we're nearing over 1 million infections here in the US, as we're at about 900,000. So this kind of sets up the fact that we're more likely to get a second stimulus. As individuals, we got the $1,200 checks already, but if you're not a business owner, you haven't been able to take advantage of a lot of the other stimulus unless you're on unemployment. But there are a lot of different proposals right now, and those are what I want to go through. So the most well-known proposal is the Emergency Money for the People Act. That is the proposal that says that we would get $2,000 a month for 6 months guaranteed, and then up to a possible 12 months. That proposal has gotten a lot of favor from a lot of people because there's $12,000 guaranteed and a possible $24,000 per individual. Now that's for anyone that is over 16 and earning less than $130,000 a year. Married couples will be receiving $4,000 a month, and qualified families could get up to $500 per month per child, up to 3 children. Qualified families could make up to $5,500 a month for up to 12 months, so $66,000. That is the most well-known proposal. The next proposal is for the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's that rent and mortgages would be canceled for a certain period of time. This proposal does have some issues though for landlords and doesn't have a lot of their approval just because there are other expenses that they have to pay for with the rent checks that don't just go towards mortgage. So that hasn't been in favor with a lot of the economy. The next one is the Getting America Back to Work Act, which would give tax rebates for businesses up to 80% of the cost of the employee, and for the actual employees they would get a rehiring bonus also. So kind of stimulates people going back to work and takes them away from unemployment, which might be a good solution, but we don't know exactly what the rehiring bonus would be, so it might not help families out in the short term depending on how little or how much it is. Now the fourth act is the ABC Act, which has gotten a lot of notoriety over the last week, which is called the Automatic Boost to Communities Act. The reason that this proposal has gotten a lot of favor is because it is the largest and most comprehensive proposal. It would give every individual in the US and US individuals that are abroad $2,000 up front on a reloadable card, and then would give them $1,000 a month for every month for 12 months after the crisis is done. So if they say that the crisis is done in June, then you would get paid through June the following year. So this is very expensive. This would be about $14,000 or so in that scenario per person. And the significance of this act compared to the Emergency Money for the People Act is just about everyone is included in this act, which makes it a lot more attractive to people that have maybe younger children, because each child would get $2,000 a month on the card for the family. So if you had a family of, let's say, 3 kids, you would get $10,000 up front and then $5,000 a month after that. So it's a very significant package, and it would provide a lot of relief to a lot of people, but that would be very expensive. Other proposals have included more extended unemployment insurance, also student loan forgiveness, which I talked about in one of my last videos, which would forgive a lot of the student loans, but that's not really applicable to the broad public. So really, I could imagine something that applies to a broad range of people. I think that that's more likely to go through, because taxpayers that don't necessarily benefit from one of these programs won't really like that they have to pay for it over the long term, as compared to something where everyone can take advantage as long as it's within reason. So in the coming weeks, like I've said, we'll get more information on this, but again, I want to lay it all out because there is a lot of different talk of different proposals, and it's hard to remember each one specifically. If you like this, please subscribe so that you can see more updates. Leave a like too, because it helps out the channel and provides it to more people, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.